Welcome back to another Infectious video. It's your boy King Papita in the cut, ready to inspire you in some way, hopefully today. And if not today, then hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I can get you someday inspired. That's my goal here with this channel. It's not really to get my money up, get my weight up, get my clout up, whatever. But I'm here to affect people. I want to affect people in a positive way. So, like I said, welcome back to another Infectious video, number 2 of the series. I'm gonna keep going till I can't stop, period. So I hope you guys enjoy and then keep watching the journey. Today I don't know exactly what I want to talk about. I want to talk about various idea of things. I don't know specifically exactly what I want to talk about, but whatever comes to my mind. So recently I've been thinking a lot about my family, especially because it's been like kind of a emotional roller coaster lately. I haven't really gone through this emotional roller coaster in a while. The last time I went through this roller coaster, it was kind of like I was about 10 or 11, and one of my really close uncle to my family had passed away, and then a lot of mixed emotions in that series of events. But like ever since then, I really haven't felt this way, like emotionally. I feel like I've lost somebody, but not really lost somebody. I've been thinking about going home because obviously my family is in New York. That's where I'm originally from. So I have a lot of connection there, a lot of emotion there. So I'm excited to go back home. And with that emotional roller coaster, just thinking about like my mom and thinking about my siblings and how long I haven't seen them. Like I haven't seen my mom in about 2 years. I haven't seen my siblings in about 2 years. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of been tough being so far away from your siblings. I do have a few close family members here where I'm living at now, but it's kind of hard, man. Kind of hard being away from home. So if you're away from home right now, I applaud you, because it is a task. It is something that isn't just easy to come by, like, oh, just leaving your connections and your emotional attachment to those people and being able to decrease your communication with them and then your visual sight with them is obviously not easy at all, especially when you love them so much. So if you're one of those people that's away from home, or even if it's for a couple months, I do applaud you, because it is a task and it is very difficult. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience. I haven't been home for more than a week in about, let's see here, I think I moved out where I'm living at now 2015, and it's 2020 now, so it's been about 5-6 years, and it's been a trip. It's been a trip for sure. It's been something difficult, something fun, something worthwhile, and something new. So that's obviously interesting to me, always something new, but it definitely has been hard. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone, even if you're not at home, even if you're away, even if you're still in the state that your relatives live in, but you aren't like communicating with them as much because you're doing your own thing, you have your own place, you only talk to them about like once a week. I applaud you too, because that's difficult, and especially when you live in the same state, that's definitely difficult to not speak with them as much. And it's not like you're not trying to, it's just you're caught up in other things and you're thinking about a bunch of other things that you have to take care of, because of course at this point either you're an adult, and if you're not an adult, then if that happens to you, then I hope you can relate, and then I hope you can learn from exactly my experiences and hopefully experiences of others that's been around you in the same situation. But yeah, it's been kind of emotional lately. I've been thinking about a lot of things, and I say this a lot. I've been thinking about a lot of things. I say this like almost every time I talk to anybody. I've been thinking about exactly my journey as a person. I've been thinking about my journey as a person of who I want to be. Not who I want to be when I get older. My journey as a person, my goal as a human being is being able to look back at my life, my timeline, however far I go, and see exactly the person I've like become. Like I want to become a genuine, good, kind-hearted, giving, spirited person that people can look back on and be inspired and be happy when they see me. I don't want to see people that see just a materialistic structure, or someone that's just focused on one idea. Like I like being good at various things. So like I like being good at inspiring people. I like being good at making people smile. I like being good at communicating with people. I like being good at picking at people's brains and seeing exactly how they feel, being able to give them good advice, and then hopefully guide them in some way with my experiences already. I mean, I'm only 20 years old, so I'm not that old, but I feel like I've definitely gone through some things that a lot of people haven't. So I'm always here to spread that knowledge and be able to inspire and show that love to other people. I never want to make somebody feel bad. So my goal as a human being is just to be able to look back at my timeline and realize, like, I'm a really good, kind-hearted person, and I'm not doing that for like self-preservement or like hierarchy or whatever. But I'm doing it just because it feels good. Like, it makes me feel good as a person, like being able to look back and see how many people are happy because of what you said or what you did for them, and exactly how you affected them in some positive way. Too many people are focused on themselves when they should be focused on other people, because in reality, like, we're all connected in some way. We're all human beings. The fact that people deny that we're the same or similar or related is just mind-boggling to me, because like, you see like this many people a day, you see them, they have eyes, ears, body, limb, whatever, mind, soul, ideas, mouth, communication, and we really think that we're so different from each other, but we're so similar and so unique. I like using unique instead of different. Like, we're similar but unique, like, in some way. Like, people don't realize that, because a lot of people are similar to each other, but everyone has their own unique characteristics to themselves. And being able to realize that and see exactly what characteristics differentiate from each human being is such a beautiful thing, because you get to appreciate exactly what difference this person has from somebody else. And that's just crazy to me, because a lot of times, like, bringing it back to like racist people, like, all they see is like one line, like, these people act this way, they have these qualities, blah blah blah, treat them like this. Of course they're gonna think this way, because they've been trained to think this way. I mean, when you're able to see the difference in people and see exactly what factors just separate each other and what factors bring them together and make them good people, it's just a beautiful thing. Because a lot of times we only focus on the negative when it's somebody we don't know. We never focus on exactly what they did positively, like what they did like to affect somebody, because we're quick to judge. A lot of times human beings are quick to judge, and they don't know exactly what they want to judge, but they want to judge something just so they have an opinion on it, when in reality all you could do is shut the fuck up and see their actions and then have an opinion after. But I don't know, people just are too quick on making assumptions. And that's one thing I feel like we have to stop as a society. Just stop assuming things. Stop making so many assumptions about so many certain things. I feel like I made it, like, not made, but I had an epiphany, low key, and it was like, assuming leads to failure, automatic failure, because you didn't learn anything from it. If you assume something and you get it right, you didn't learn anything. If you assume something and you got it wrong, then obviously, like, you made a mistake, and you did learn something, but at least you learn not to assume. That's the only benefit it comes from assuming. But assuming things is just like immediate failure. Assuming what's going to be on the test, immediate failure. You always get surprised. Assuming how somebody feels, assuming how you're going to react to a certain situation, assuming whatever. Like, it's just immediate failure that's not going to lead to success or not going to lead to anything positive, because you're assuming. Like, think about a moment you assumed something and came out victorious, I guess. Very small to the comparison of times that you assumed something else and came out losing or getting it wrong. Like, it's so crazy to me, because assuming, like, I'm like mad at myself that I realized how, like, it took me this long to realize that assuming is just not it. Like, don't do it at all. Assuming that someone's not gonna feel this way because you do this certain thing to them, it's bullshit. Definitely don't do that. Don't assume. Always communicate. And that's what I feel like. Ask, communicate, share. Like, don't just fucking assume. Like, it's just not good at all. Like, that's one thing that we shouldn't do, and that's one thing we should get out of doing every day. We should definitely train ourselves to do something different every day and not assume. More ask and be curious, but don't assume. But yeah, that's like a little brief thing on assuming, because I feel like it's not really that in depth. Like, just don't assume and you won't be disappointed. Another thing, disappointment is definitely coming from expectations. You're only disappointed when you have expectations for certain things. You're never really disappointed when it catches you by surprise. It's kind of just like a moment, like, oh, like this happened, well, I'm gonna do this next. But when you have expectations for something, or you have expectations or whatever to a certain idea or object or a goal or somebody, then those expectations are held really high. Even if it's not something like really important or standard or whatever, you held them like really high because they're expectations immediately out the gate. And then when those expectations like don't go through and come out the way you want, you're kind of just disappointed. And a lot of times we tend to dwell and be in that disappointment when in the first place, if you never expected to have this happen, then there's no disappointment to start with. Like, it's kind of just like, have no expectations. Like, don't even keep your expectations low. Like, just have no expectations, and then you won't be disappointed. And then you're probably thinking like, yo, how am I gonna have no expectations ever? Just don't. Like, literally don't have any expectations for nothing. Don't expect yourself to get that job that you're applying for. Be hungry. Keep applying. Keep updating your resume. Keep getting experience. Like, don't expect anything. If you have a significant other and then you feel like they feel this way and you expect them to feel this way, but then one day issue happens and you gotta speak on it and you're disappointed because you expected like them to feel this way and they don't, then that's disappointment. Don't dwell. If you never expected that from that other person, if you just communicated from the start, then it wouldn't be an issue. And I feel like that's something I have to work on personally. I don't want to keep my expectations high anymore. A lot of times I still do like have high expectations for things, and like I'm like, damn, I wish this came out like this. I thought it was gonna come out like this, but it didn't. Or like even myself making a video, like I made a video and I thought it was gonna come out kind of funnier and more entertaining than it was, but it didn't. And then I just trashed the whole video, and then I was kind of disappointed. But then like immediately right there, like I just went and then just snapped out of it. I was like, well, I'm making another video straight out the gate. Like, there's no point in dwelling. And that leads to my next idea. Dwelling. Dwelling is such a horrible thing. Dwelling in anything will not make you feel better, which is the crazy part of me, because we feel a need to dwell in certain situations where we feel sad, disappointed, or mad or happy or whatever. We just dwell. Like, there's no point in dwelling. And that's something that we're so trained to do that we don't realize that we have to get out of. And being able to get out of that dwelling situation just adds more progress to your base. It just adds more progress to your lifestyle and more progress to your mentality. And you don't realize it because when you don't dwell, you move on immediately. And a lot of times that's the hardest part, moving on from that situation. That's why dwelling is so easy and moving on is so hard, because you just want to think about it and you want to see what you did wrong, what you did right, and what you could do better. But at the end of the day, you know exactly what you did. Just move on and then just keep going. Just don't stop. Don't ever stop. Because when you stop, you tend to dwell, you sit, you waste time, and then eventually you realize, damn, I shouldn't be doing this. Let me just move on. And then next thing you know, you're like, damn, I just wasted my time, when all you could have done is just moved on. And that's the hardest part. I'm not saying it like it's easy as fuck, like you're just gonna move on and shit, or like have no expectations and, you know, stuff like that. But it is a process. You can definitely take steps starting right now during this video and learn to not dwell. Don't have expectations. Don't assume. These are like 3 things that I definitely want to get out of my life. I want to stop assuming things. I want to stop having high expectations for no reason when I shouldn't at all. And I need to stop dwelling. And then most of the time, dwelling is in losses or failures. So a lot of times I need to learn how to fail hard and then fail harder next time, and then not dwell, just move on. And then I'll learn exactly how success feels right after that. And then you won't ever be like questioning exactly what you're doing. You won't ever question exactly. If you know exactly what you want to do, you won't ever question what you want to do, because you're happy doing what you want to do. And if you have a good and positive and meaningful idea behind it or like meaning behind it, then you won't ever have to be disappointed or sad in your idea, because you'll have no assumptions about that idea. You won't have high expectations, and you won't dwell if it doesn't work. And then another thing that has been making me feel this way is because the issue I had with my ex-girlfriend a couple months ago definitely made me feel this way, and all the progress that I should be making regardless, because that like issue and that situation made me immediately realize what the fuck I was doing. Like immediately, I'm like, damn, I'm doing everything like wrong. I'm thinking I'm doing things fine and I'm doing like the best I can, but I could be doing things so much better, and I could be doing things so much differently that can make such a beneficial relationship out of this. And like still to this day, I dwell in certain situations where I thought about, damn, I fucked up at this part, I fucked up here, I could have done this different, and shit like that. And I assumed how she felt, and I assumed how I should feel about certain things, but in the case it shouldn't have been like that. I shouldn't have assumed. I should have asked. I shouldn't have dwelled. I should have done that. Once I asked, then I wouldn't have any high expectations, then I wouldn't be dwelling, if that makes sense. It's like a chain reaction. Don't assume. You want to have high expectations, and then you won't dwell. But from that start, I assumed this, and then the expectations were wonky, and then it's dwelling at this point because it's all over now. Like, it doesn't matter. But like to this day, I'm still learning from that. Like, and I think about it to myself. I'm like, damn, well, like, why am I still thinking about this? Shouldn't I be moving on? Like, she's probably doing better. I'm probably like focused on doing better, of course. But like, it's just something to learn from. Like, it's not something I want to forget. A lot of people tend to like want to push away memories and forget about these things, but at times I'm learning to actually take in those memories. Like, I want to take in hurtful memories I had in my childhood. I want to take in good memories I had overall. I want to take in hardships. I want to take in all that because I don't want to forget it. These are lessons that were etched into my personality and like who I am to this day. So like, why should I forget these like circumstances? Like, I definitely want to remember them like at all times. And like, of course, like, there's still a sense of attachment to that girl that I felt. But exactly, to this day, I'm still working on it. So like, I shouldn't be dwelling at this point. It's just something I want to just like get off my mind. And that's why I have these videos, just to talk about how I feel. And if somebody's feeling exactly the way I feel, and I'm able to help them and see exactly if they can move on to that situation or be a better person overall, they don't even have to move on. They could just be a better person and then see exactly their outcome and then make their next step. Like, as long as I'm able to help them in some way, it makes me happy, period. Because like, at this point, I've noticed that my life is up for helping other people. Like, I don't really understand like what else I'm here for. Like, I really want to help other people, and it sounds kind of sad, but it's not really that sad. Like, I'm here, I want to help other people, period. Like, I want to give people advice. I want to help them out. I want to see their progress, like shit like that. I love seeing that shit. Oh, one last thing I want to talk about real quick. Appreciation for things, bro. Like, that's a really big part. Being able to appreciate your circumstance, being able to appreciate your situation, being able to appreciate those people in your life, being able to appreciate those emotions in your life, being able to appreciate the good and bad times in your life. Like, there's so many things we can appreciate in this life that we don't realize every single day. And you wake up every day and you just do things. Like, you don't appreciate you waking up. You don't appreciate you being able to brush your teeth with your two hands, being able to see you brush your teeth with your eyesight. There's so many things we can appreciate in our daily lives that you can take one thing that you did and appreciate it every single day, or take a different day, take a different thing every day. And we don't realize that until we don't have that anymore, if that makes sense. Like, you don't appreciate your bed until it's gone. You don't appreciate your bed until you're sleeping on the floor. You don't appreciate your home until you're homeless. You don't appreciate any of these things. And a lot of times we have to focus on that. And that's crazy to me, because these are such simple things that could be taken from us at any moment that we don't know. And it's just crazy, because it's like a beautiful thing. Being able to appreciate all these things and being able to realize that you can appreciate all these things is just so close to me. It low-key makes like my heart melt. Like, it's kind of corny, but like being able to realize that, like, it's been a trip these last couple months for me, especially because I've been able to realize all this shit. Don't take anything for granted. You never know what's gonna come next. You never know what's not gonna come next. So just appreciate what's in front of you. Take every day a day at a time. Never think about the past. Never think about the present too much. Just think about exactly what's in front of you and be able to appreciate that, because the past is, you can never get it back, and the present is never promised. So enjoy everything you got in life, man. Just keep it close to heart. Never take it for granted. And then show love, man. Spread love. A lot of times people don't want to spread love because they feel, oh, this person doesn't deserve it. But everybody deserves love at one point, no matter when. Actually, not at one point, at all times. Everybody deserves love at all times, regardless. If they hate on you, show them love. Just kill them with love. And it sounds corny, but it's really something crazy to me, because like, I didn't realize it, but I always like show love to other people, like regardless. Like, you can hate on me, like I don't really care as much. Like, I'll show you love. No bullshit. Because like, I have no reason to hate on you. Like, I don't care enough to hate on you. But I'll definitely show you love, because I do like seeing other people happy. So, I mean, this is my little Infectious video. I hope my words had some meaning to you this time around. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Stay blessed. And have a wonderful day. Go create something. Make something for yourself. I love you.